Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for coming today. We're going to begin with an opening remark from Scott Strickland, and then he'll answer some questions from the media. He'll be followed by interim head coach Billy Gonzalez, who will begin with an opening statement and then answer questions from the media. And then we'll have three players for you guys for questions. Scott Strickland.
Thanks, Scott. How we doing, guys? Everybody good? Good. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Wanted to just kind of touch base after the news yesterday, the decision to make a change in the head coaching position here at Florida, and felt like that was best interest for football program going forward. Not an easy decision. Anytime you make those kind of decisions that impact people personally, especially people that you care about, those are just tough, challenging decisions. Had a meeting with Coach Napier, and as you would expect, he handled it as graciously as anybody could. None of us will find a finer individual. His integrity, his character, the way he's led this place, the investment that he's made into this football program will always be appreciated, and I think we will benefit from it for a long, long time. I'm incredibly appreciative of Billy, and I think we're all sad and disappointed it didn't work out from a result standpoint the way we wanted, but just feel so strongly about who he is as a person, and he's leaving this place in a much better position than when he found it. From the quality of the roster, a lot of the support structure that our team benefits now, whether it's the life skills program like Gatormade or other things. He's the kind of people he's brought in this program has been top notch, and so I just want to acknowledge that and how much respect and appreciation. We wish him and Allie and their kids nothing but the best, and he's got a lot of good days ahead of him. I'm convinced of that. After that meeting, I met with Billy Gonzalez and asked if he would step in as the interim head coach, and obviously he agreed to do so. I've known Billy a long time. Obviously, he's been around the University of Florida now in his three different decades. Been a part of three different staffs, has been a part of this place when we were winning championships, and so he understands that pedigree, and this place I think is important to him, and I think he will do a great job of leading this group and the staff through the remainder of this season, and believe this gives us the best chance to have the kind of success we want to finish this season on a strong note. Also met with the staff. We got a lot of high character people in positions of coaching or support staff, and they're going to continue to work hard for the University of Florida, work hard for these players, and put them in position to be successful. Had a really good meeting with the team, and I'll share three things I told the team with you. And I've been around this group. Some of these players have been here for a few years, but even the young guys, I'm around. I'm at practice. I travel with them on game days, on road trips. There's three things I know about this group. Number one, this is a really talented group. We have a lot of ability on this roster. I saw this note the other day. This team became the first team in 57 years to play 4 straight top 10 opponents. And we competed on the field talent-wise, toe-to-toe with every one of those. We didn't win as many games as we wanted to, but there was no question that we had the talent to compete at that level. And I believe we have the talent to compete with anybody left on our schedule. This is a talented group of football players, and I know that. Second thing I know is the University of Florida matters to this group. They chose the University of Florida. They wanted to be here, and they want to have the success that you expect to have when you come play for the University of Florida. And that's the third thing, is they want to win. Winning is important to this group. They look around, they see other teams on this campus winning at a high level. They see what the basketball team did last spring. They want to be a part of that. They want to have those same experiences. So they're really talented. They care about the University of Florida, and they want to win. And our coaches and our staff, our administration, Gator Nation, we owe it to them to do everything we can to support them through the rest of this season and give them every opportunity to go out and win some ball games and finish strong. And don't let what's happened up to this point be what defines them, but what happens the rest of the way be what defines them. And I think they'll do that. So on the next steps from the leadership part of the football program, obviously we have a search that we're going to conduct, and that's my responsibility. Goal is pretty simple. We want to compete for championships, and not just compete, but we want to win championships. The University of Florida, as you guys well know, is the only school in the country that's won 3 national titles in football and men's basketball. It's the only school this century, that has won at least 1 title in football and men's basketball. And the Gators have won 3 in both. There's very few places that provide the opportunities that you have at the University of Florida. There's somebody out there who can come in here and put this football program in a position where it can win championships. This search is going to be thorough. It's going to be deliberate. Despite, speculation about, particular candidates or things that have already been done, we are early in this process, and it will be a very thorough process. To that end, we have engaged with Turnkey ZRG as a search consultant in this process. I think they can bring a lot of value, and looking forward to working with them. This university has a lot of alignment. We have a really strong group of board of trustees. They have, they provide great leadership. Excited about Dr. Landry. I think he was a great selection as our president, and looking forward to continue to work with him, but really impressed with the leadership that he's providing. Throughout the university, there's just great leadership, and there's a shared commitment to excellence in every corner of this campus. It's a world-class university. We have a world-class athletic program, the only athletic program in the country that's finished in the top 10 of the Directors' Cup every year that it has existed, routinely in the top 5 in the all sports, 49 national championships. There's a lot of success here, and there's a lot of things to build off of, and it's a standard of excellence and winning that we have to continue to perpetuate. The other thing I'd say is the University of Florida has for a long time been invested in being good in football. I don't think we've ever been as invested as we are right now. There's never been a time that as many financial resources and as much commitment has gone into making Gator football as good as it can be, whether it's elite facilities like the one we're standing in here now, the Hebner Training Complex, strong NIL infrastructure, all the other comprehensive things we do to help our athletes, whether it's the Hawkins Center at Farrier Hall from an academic standpoint, nutrition with the Condren Dining Center. There's just so many things that are in place for this program to be successful at the highest level. And we're here to win championships, and I think we have a really unique opportunity for somebody to walk into. So I'll take a few questions, and then we'll have Coach Gonzalez come up.
What would you pinpoint as the key reason it didn't work out? I mean, especially given what you just said, everything's in place.
Edgar, that's there's probably another day and time for a postmortem on that part of it. Obviously I had a lot of faith in Billy, and had a lot of confidence because he has so many traits of what it takes to be successful. There's these things are inexact science when you're dealing with choosing people, right? And I'm not exactly sure why. I have some thoughts, but he's obviously he did a lot of really good things, and just at the end of the day, we didn't win to the level we needed to.
There was a lot made of just like the offensive side of the football. What were conversations with him, like during off seasons, to maybe calibrate what was going on there, because it just didn't seem to ever get traction?
Yeah, we had a lot of conversations related to that. We spent probably hours in conversation. I shared with him that I thought that his strength may be in leading the program and overseeing the bigger picture. But at the end of the day, my philosophy is you hire head coaches. As athletic directors, you hire head coaches. You give them the authority to make decisions on how they want to run their program, and then you hold them accountable to that. And, that's probably a big part of the reason why we're here today.
Scott, are you going to be solely responsible for hiring the next head football coach here?
I am, yes.
How much input will you get from the Board of Trustees, from Turnkey, from some of your maybe your direct reports?
Yeah, well, I'll use every available resource, and, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, so I'll be listening to a lot and taking a lot of suggestions and advice, and we do have a lot of access to a lot of information, so we'll utilize all of that.
I just want to clarify something about Billy with the play calling. When you decided to bring him back last year, was that part of the discussion and part of your decision to bring him back? Was the expectation that he would hire a play caller? And then when he decided not to do that, what was your reaction?
I'm going to keep those conversations between the two of us private, but we had a lot of conversations related to that. It wasn't this or else. As I said, ADs hire head coaches. They don't hire assistant coaches. And, that was his decision.
At what point was the decision made to dismiss Billy, and at what point was he told that he would no longer be?
Well, I met with him yesterday morning, and, I just felt like that was the right time to going into the open date for us to move ahead here.
There's
Kevin?
certainly a type in what, like, the fans want, but in terms of parameters, some people are saying, like, group of 5, offensive mind, I mean, what are you looking for in terms of the type of coach?
My sense is we will have a wide variety of candidates. We want people who can win championships at the University of Florida. That's going to be our goal. We want somebody who can come in here, be a strong leader, and win championships. And like I said, there's probably people from a lot of different backgrounds that could have the potential to do that. It is tricky. There are 3 current coaches in college football who have won national championships. So unless one of those 3 decide that they want to come and we think they're the right fit, we're going to have to be making a projection somewhere along the line. And, sometimes you find that person, and we've had instances here where we've brought people in, and my guess is most of the coaches who have won national titles at the University of Florida across various sports, I don't know this for a fact, but my guess is the first time they ever won one was at the University of Florida. So we need to find somebody who can come in here and join that list.
The job market's already kind of pretty active this cycle and might get crazy. What are the advantages for you all in being, officially open at this juncture?
Well, time is an asset, and you would, certainly I think that's going to be beneficial. The more time you have, the easier it is. One of the unique things about these high-profile positions, searches like football, like maybe men's basketball, is usually those are the time to make those searches is compressed. And, I've been usually there, you have a week or 2 and you feel there's some kind of impending date that you want to get it to because it's a, portal opening up or signing day occurring or whatever. We have a little bit more time in this circumstance. Signing day isn't till the first week in December. Portal doesn't open until January. And, we have a chance to be very thorough.
How advantageous are the new transfer portal rules, even compared to the first bye week? If this move was something you were deliberating at that time, how much does this change the picture?
I think it makes a lot more sense, the new rules that got put in a couple weeks ago, on a lot of different levels. So I'm glad they've made those changes.
So how much more confident are you in making the 3rd hire as opposed to the 1st and 2nd?
Yeah. Every time you go through these processes, you learn something, and you use that information and what went well, what didn't, and how can you improve upon it. And I'm confident that we've learned lessons, whether it's football or men's basketball. As I said, those two, all coaching searches have a unique rhythm to them, but those 2 are unique relative to the rest. And we certainly have been through enough of those. We'll keep learning through the process.
What are some of the lessons that you've learned that you could share with us?
Yeah, I think time, is always more valuable when you're in these processes, and the more time you have, I think you have a chance to be more thorough and talk to more people. A couple more questions. I'll get Coach Gonzalez up here.
Scott, you kind of pitched the program and the benefits, but it's a very crowded job market. How do you stand out when you're up against other big programs?
I think that logo stands out, right? That, the Gator head is pretty special. And, state of 22 million people, third largest state in the country, over 500,000 living alumni, top 5 public university. We've had, 14, 16 straight sellouts. I've lost track of the number at the Swamp. And the results on the field haven't been what we are accustomed to, yet our fans, Gator Nation, keeps coming and supporting at such a high level. The facilities, there's just the access to talent. Young people want to be at the University of Florida, right? This is a place that just people are drawn to. Every coach that we have on this campus will tell you that kids will answer the phone when they see it's from the Gators. And so I just think we have a lot of advantages that we need to utilize.
Sorry, there's a narrative out there that the boosters drug you to this reluctantly.
Yeah.
Can you just set the record straight in terms of what was there, how much of that did you listen to, and how much of that did affect your decision?
Yeah, this is a really unique place because of our boosters are incredibly supportive, but they also take a lot of pride in the fact that of how they conduct themselves. And I have a lot of encouragement. I have a lot of support. But I don't have anybody reaching over trying to grab the steering wheel. And I think that's one of the things that makes this place really unique. And it's one of the reasons we've had as much success. The board of trustees hires a president. The president hires an athletic director. The athletic director is supported by the boosters and season ticket holders and everybody else who loves the Gators to go make the right decisions.
How challenging is the financial hit?
It's not insignificant. The market kind of dictates that. We're blessed that we have tremendous resources, but it's not unlimited. So we'll have to manage that, and we will. And the resources are not going to be a reason why we don't make the right decision going forward here. So.
Market, you said, can these contracts continue the way they are? I mean, you're looking at what happened at Penn State. This is a drop in the bucket compared to that.
Yeah, again, I go back to we all want to be competitive, whether it's NIL, whether it's coaching salaries. We're all responding to what the market dictates, and we could sit here and talk high and mighty how we're going to draw the line, and it would probably impact the pool of candidates you have depending on how strict you draw that line. So, we're going to try to be as smart as we can with our resources and make the best possible decision. But we're also going to be very competitive. Last one.
Will this be a negotiated buyout or the full amount?
We're going to honor the contract as it's written. So we'll get Coach Gonzalez up here right now. Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all being here. Billy?
All right, we'll begin with a short opening statement from Coach Gonzalez, and then we'll open it up to questions.
How are y'all today? Everybody doing good? All right. Appreciate y'all coming. Good afternoon. Good morning. First of all, I'd like to thank Coach Napier for his 4 years of work and dedication and service to this program and the student athletes here at the University of Florida. Coach Napier is a terrific coach and a better man, and he's built a tremendous culture here at the University of Florida. I have nothing but great things to say about Coach Napier, and I'm very thankful for my time working with him and getting to know him and his amazing family. I want to thank Mr. Scott Strickland and the administration for the opportunity to lead the program for the remainder of the season and their belief and trust in me to do so. In spite of the circumstances, I'm honored and humbled to be speaking in front of you today. Florida is a special place to me. I've worked for this program for 12 years. I take this new role to heart. It means a ton to me. I've seen what this program can be firsthand. Like Mr. Strickland said in his statement, the standards and the expectations at the University of Florida and Gator football program are to win championships, not to simply just compete. For us moving forward, we need to get back to work. The results so far this season have not been up to the Gator standard. I have full trust not only in our student athletes, but in this staff to make the most of the season. We have a responsibility to do that, not only for this program, but for our fans. Florida is a destination. This program is one of the premier programs and schools in the country. I'll do my very best every day to make sure our student athletes and our staff work tirelessly to meet and uphold our Gator standards. I appreciate it, and I'll take some questions if you have some.
Are you making any staff changes moving forward?
As far as staff changes, everybody that's on the staff is going to be continue, or as of right now, is still going to be on the staff.
What about roles and who's going to call plays moving forward?
Sure. I think as you look at the defensive side, obviously is Let It Eat. Coach has done a fantastic job over there. Coach, he's done fantastic. The whole defensive staff has done an amazing job. They work extremely well together. Their players are motivated and they play with a lot of energy. Offensively, we're going to do kind of a collaborative effort as far as how we game plan. It's something that I've been used to over the years. Coach Sale, Coach Jaluk will have a lot of input as far as the run game, what we're doing, to make sure that we're going to be able to break down and see what the opponents are going to be giving us, that we're going to have an opportunity to hopefully take advantage of. And then obviously in the pass game, you're going to have Coach Callaway, who's our offensive coordinator, who leads the offensive staff. He does an unbelievable job. He does a fantastic job at leading. He does a fantastic job of making sure that everybody's on the same page. He's going to continue to work hand in hand with Coach O'Hara and the rest of the staff, offensive staff that we have. But as I said, it's going to be a collaborative effort. Coach will still be highly involved in everything. But I think one of the unique changes that I've mentioned with Mr. Strickland is football has changed. And what I mean by that is there's been a time NIL has changed, recruiting has changed. Well, the addition of the green dot on the football helmet has significantly changed how we coach and how we communicate. 5 to 6 years ago, it was anybody would go out there and you have the scripts, you come out and you type them up, and it didn't matter who would call the play. You're sitting there with the quarterback, you're in the huddle, and they can call the play. The quarterback reads it right off off the sheet, and that's kind of how we went. But the green dot, I think, is something that's been a game changer, and in my opinion, this is my opinion. I think it's going to be helpful for us, but I'm going to let Coach Callaway is going to be the OC, but I'm going to let Coach O'Hara call the plays. And I think the most important piece to that is there's a rhythm piece between him and DJ. I think it's really important that the quarterback is an extension of his teacher. And in this particular setting for the next 5 games, I think that's going to be critical. DJ's got a great relationship with both, but I think it's going to be an opportunity just to hit home over and over the teaching methods that go on in the meeting, and let him be familiar with that voice over and over in the practice setting and in the game.
How much did we see the offense change just with some wrinkles and things now with this new structure?
I think you'll see some things that are a little different. I think one thing that I want to hopefully continue to assert in the offense is I think we've got a lot of playmakers, and I'd like to be able to spread it out a little bit, hopefully, and get some of those players involved. Not necessarily change a lot. Here's the great thing about Coach Napier's offense. We actually have an arsenal of plays within the system. So it's kind of basically picking and choosing and allowing our quarterback to be in a position to do the things that he does best. And I think, that's the ultimate goal as our offensive staff. Again, Coach Callaway does an amazing job, and he's going to continue to keep us together as an offensive staff and put those plays together for us.
Is he going to be more the executive head coach and let somebody else coach the receivers, or will you continue to be hands-on receivers?
I'll continue to be hands-on with them still, but at the same time, I think as we move forward into the situation, I'd like to be kind of more of a manager to make sure that we're moving in the right direction as a football program, making sure that the players are getting everything that they need. And again, obviously, we've got a good group of receivers in the meeting room right now, and we've got some good young coaches, and we've got some coaches on staff that have also coached that position that we'll have a chance to visit it.
Who in particular would be taking over some of the receiving?
Well, we haven't specifically talked yet as far as who will truly take over that position as we go forward, but I feel very, very confident in the guys that we have on staff right now. And the coaches, Coach Lucas and Coach Decker, do a fantastic job along the way with me as well.
Coach Meyer first brought you here 20 years ago. Did you lean on him or any other mentors for advice in this role?
I did. I spoke with Coach Meyer last night, so we had a chance to catch up a little bit. And I think he was my position coach in college. He was obviously had a chance to work with him at 3 different stops, and I did. I reached out to him, and I wanted to have a chance to just talk to him a little bit about the team concept. And I think one of the unique things he talked about, and we talked about, is you're walking into a situation where it's not the perfect situation for you, Billy. But at the same time, you got to make sure you're here for the players. We've got a bunch of seniors on this football team. We've got a bunch of underclassmen that are fighting, and they're going to do everything that they can to be successful. But when you look at it, we went back and we started talking about the 2 national championships. I was very fortunate to be a part of those teams, and we started talking a little bit. And you know what? We weren't perfect back then either. We had a fight. We had to change some things. The things that we wanted to work at, and possibly when we first got here, we thought we were going to be a spread, but we didn't have all the pieces. And we changed. We had Billy Latsko. We had Eric Rutledge. We utilized the personnel that allowed us to be successful. So, like I said, I know it's not a perfect situation, but nothing in life is. Again, the one thing that I do know for sure is that these players are resilient. They're tough. They're competitors, and they don't have quit anywhere in their DNA. So I'm excited for the opportunity to have a chance to work with them. And again, from my standpoint, I want to continue to help build them and grow them as men. We talked to this as our staff. Our staff's the same exact way. Is our responsibility is to help these young men grow and continue to grow as young men. And if we can continue to help them grow as men, the athlete's always going to rise to the top. I was not in there for the time that Coach Napier had the opportunity to speak with them, but been through this before, obviously, and as a coach, as a player, anytime you lose a figurehead like Coach Napier was an incredible man, incredible leader. I look around and what he's done for this program. It's always hard. It's hard. It's hard for coaches. It's hard for staff members, and so you've got to be as somebody that's part of the staff. I've got to be aware of it and make sure that everybody's on the same page. But yeah, there's feelings that are involved, and from the players too. Again, we've met with the leadership committee, and they do a fantastic job. One of the things we talked about was a question that was raised and asked was, who do we need to make sure that we kind of keep an eye on? And whether it's the freshmen, the sophomores, and one of the older players. And no, coach, it's the entire team. It's everybody. We're in this together. So. They've got a heartbeat, and so yeah, the change will be hopefully a smooth transition, and that's kind of why I'm here.
Is it your hope to be part of the next staff?
I'm sorry?
Is it your hope to be part of the next staff?
I love Florida. You all know I love Florida. This is a special place to me. My daughter was born here 20 years ago. I've been here with 3 different head coaches. I've won 2 national championships. I've seen what it can do. I not just the University of Florida football, but Mr. Strickland talked about the academics. He talked about all the other athletic programs around here. It's a special place. So this is a goal to mine would be to obviously to be able to stay here. But my first goal is to make sure that we put a fantastic group of players on that football field that are going to compete and play for the University of Florida. I told these guys yesterday, and it's really important that I tell my room this. When you're in my room with the wide receivers, I always talk about you play for the patch, and that means a lot to me. It means a lot to our players. I had a long talk with Brandon Spikes this past year, and we went back, but it is. You play for the patch, and I think that's the most important thing. The players, we play for the patch, you represent your name on the back of your jersey. And I think when you put them together, I think you get something special.
What you just said, what does it mean to you to have this opportunity and to lead this program?
It means everything to me, and it all comes back down to, it's do your job, and we have a job to do. We were hired here to do a job, and the great thing about it, Coach Napier put a staff together, and I'm looking around at some of them, and you see. They're all on board. They understand where we want to be. We understand that he did, like I said, he put together an incredible staff of coaches that have one goal to move forward, continue to do our job. And I talked about that with the players yesterday, and I talked about it. Our job and our responsibility is to do our job. Everything we do is put on film. Everything we do is going to be out there. Make sure when every rep you take as a player, it's your resume. And for us as a coaching staff, we got to go do the same thing. Every chance we get to teach our players, we got to do the best possible, the best that we can possibly do to put them in the best situation to be successful on the field, because we know they don't have any quit. We know they're going to compete for us. So absolutely.
Obviously, you know what it's supposed to look like offensively. here at the University of Florida. It hasn't looked that way this season. What has it been like behind the scenes to kind of watch the offense struggle like this? And do you think these last 5 games can be a chance to maybe even take the chains off, unleash it a little bit?
Well, from the same side and then looking out from your side, I see the same things. Obviously we want to be more productive. We want to be more explosive. That's going to be something that we'll talk about as a staff offensively to see what we can do. But I think every player has strengths, and I think the one thing that we want to be able to do is put our players in the best possible position and play to their strengths. And if that means tweaking some things where we can get guys, whether it's RPOs, taking different types of shots, different types of play actions, that's all part of it. But it's to I've said this over and over. It's not about the play. It's about the player, and it always will be. The player's the one that's going to go make the plays, and you got to be able to put them in an advantageous position. We've got great players here, so if we can put them, get some guys the ball in space and let them work, I think you'll see a Florida offense that's ready to roll.
Coach O'Hara move upstairs?
As of right now, we have not talked about that. I do like him down on the ground, getting a chance. I think it's important that he has an opportunity to sit and talk to DJ and have DJ look at him in the eyes. And I think that's always something that I've always thought was an important piece as a quarterback coach, getting a chance. And again, that's the main reason to me why I would like him to call plays, just because of that relationship of being able to look at the quarterback, talk to the quarterback, visualize the quarterback, so they're seeing the same things and hearing the same things.
Speaking of playmakers, we haven't talked to you all season, the 2 freshmen.
Yes, sir.
What's your assessment of these 2 young men and their impact?
Well, I really like all my freshmen, to be honest with you. And I know some of them are redshirting, but if you talk about, VB is an incredible football player. He's super smart. He's super detailed. If you were to walk into a meeting, you'd see him taking notes. He's got his iPad out. He's taking notes, and that translates. If you're good in the academic setting and you're taking care of what you need to do as far as learning, the learning atmosphere, it translates. And he's done a fantastic job. He's super quick when it comes to picking up an offense or a play. You can talk to him about it. He can visualize it. He can see it. Then we go out and rep it, obviously. But he's got an innate ability. He's got great make you miss. He's got great speed. And he's got a great desire to be great. He's got that want to. He's a competitor. He wants to be great. So extremely excited about his productivity so far and his future, obviously. And then, Dallas, it's been great to get him back out. Obviously, we knew he had an injury that he battled through at the beginning of the season. And it weighed heavy on him. It took a toll on him. It bothered him. It hurt him as an individual. And you hate to see it happen, but you always like to see somebody that it cares. When somebody's not afraid to shed a tear because they want to be on that football field. But the great thing about Dallas, every walkthrough, every I guess I should say game prep, every time we did anything, he stood right next to me. So when we were signaled to the receivers, he stood right next to me. When we went out on practice, he stood right next to me. So he was constantly getting his reps, mental reps, standing next to me, seeing the signals, getting a chance to talk to me. And he's a competitor. He's obviously got great size, and he can cause some mismatches.
Having played for Urban, having coached under Urban, and how demanding he is, what have you taken from him that translates into what you're going to be doing now?
Well, I think when Urban obviously was a fantastic coach, and he still is a fantastic coach. But I think if you start looking at some of the things we talk about, how we want to win and why we win. Obviously we want to be able to score in the red zone. We want to be able to play great defense. We want to win the turnover battle, and we want to be great on special teams, obviously, again. But, he's a great motivator. He's a great mind, and the players, the one thing that he did is he had his team ready to play. And I think that's a goal of mine. Obviously, they've entrusted me and have given me that opportunity, and my goal is to make sure that these guys understand I'm going to be me. I'm a little different than Coach Napier. I love Coach. I'm different than Urban. I'm different than some of the other coaches I've worked for. I'm going to be me, but I want to make sure that these guys know we're going to try to put them in the best possible position to go make those plays. And I'm excited. I'm excited about the opportunity, by all means.
You want to be a head coach? Colorado State's open. This could be a hell of a 5-game audition for you.
I want to win. I want to win here. This is a special place. I want to win here. I want to take care of these guys over there. I'm looking at those 3 football players right there, what they've been through. Obviously, I've known Jake for quite a long time. He played football with my son in high school, so I've had a chance to follow his career. And these guys are competitors. So the one thing that I want to do, we want to win. We want to win the right way. We want to put these guys in a great position to go out and go out a winner for some of these seniors. Absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Full house today.
You're not taped up, finally.
Not taped up. No, we're recovery day. Ankles are out, boys.
We got offensive lineman Jake Slaughter. Ready whenever you guys are.
You found out, what was your reaction to the news that Billy would not be here anymore?
You know, I think I can identify a lot with our guys, and that we were all pretty upset about it. But you know, we understand that it's a production business, and it is what it is.
Is there, I guess, as the leader of the team, as an upperclassman, was there anything that you maybe expressed to younger players, someone that maybe not been through a coaching change before, just how'd you motivate them, if anything?
No, I think that there's guys like myself, Austin Barber, Tyreek Sapp, and a handful of other guys that unfortunately we've been through this before. We've had coaching changes in season, and I think we can serve as a good resource. And I tried to tell guys I'll talk to a recruit. I have a good relationship with Nari Carr, at IMG. He was an Ocala guy, and him and I talk. So it's about the place. It's about, like Coach G says, playing for the logo, and we want to make this logo proud. We want to play for each other, and in all kinds of weather.
Does the bye week give you a chance to kind of maybe process it all and really recover before you get into game plan?
I think that definitely is part of it. I think that having a bye week that is advantageous here, but I think it ultimately it's going to come down to execution and taking care of your business.
You talked about being upset, and Scott talked about the time that can come from a change mid-season. But as a player, what does that do when everything changes, even if it is a bye week?
I think that change it's part of life. Yeah, I would say that there's a lot that happens with change, especially one like this. It comes with a change in coaching, but it does a lot. And I think that we're going to lean on each other in the locker room. We're going to lean on each other and the coaches that take care of us now, and we're going to ultimately work to make each other proud and go play our best ball.
What's the biggest impact Billy had on you think?
I was super fortunate. I didn't know who Billy Napier was when I was getting recruited. I was a Florida guy. He was in Louisiana at the time. I didn't know he existed, and I don't know if he knew I existed. So I was so fortunate that he came in, and he treated me like I was one of his guys that he recruited, and he cared for me more than anything. And he taught us all so much about just being a good man, being a good ball player, taking care of your guys. So I can't talk enough about the type of imprint he left on us and our character as men.
Why do you think it didn't work out? What would you pinpoint? Is there anything?
I don't think I can pinpoint one thing or another. I think that ultimately like I said, it's a production business, and we didn't get it done. And it wasn't one thing all the time. It wasn't. There's a lot that goes into it, and it's beyond me.
He was pretty emotional Saturday night. What was his level, and what was his message to you guys yesterday?
So Miles, DJ, and I, we decided that we're going to keep what happened between us, but I'll tell you that it was a powerful message, and we all greatly appreciate Coach Napier and the type of man that he was for us.
Okay. Billy Gonzalez, he's known you for a while. Would you talk about him, please?
I have so much respect for Coach Gonzalez. Like he talked about, I played, his boy was my high school quarterback my senior year, so I have a lot of unique experiences there that maybe not everybody else has with Coach Gonzalez. And the type of guys that he's been around as coaches, the type of players he's developed here at the University of Florida. And you talk about a logo guy, him and Coach Mike P. And those are the guys you want to make proud, the guys that get it, the guys that truly care about the place. So I have a lot of respect for Coach Gonzalez.
How motivated are you to keep this team together, and so that when your college career is done, that you're leaving it in a better place than you found it?
It's all that matters to me.
You were also here 4 years ago, the last time there was a coaching change. What do you remember about that time, and what are some of the lessons that you can take from that year into now?
Yeah, I think it's very different. I was 18 years old, and now I'm 22 years old, and now I'm playing ball. So it is different. yeah, I think there's always going to be lessons you can take. And I was thinking about it last night, type of things that I remembered going through at that time. And, I remembered, seniors like Stuart Reese, seniors like Gene DeLance in my room that really took care of the young guys and told us, ultimately it's about going playing ball and taking care of your guys. And I feel like that's something that stuck with me my whole career.
What are your expectations for Ryan O'Hara getting a shot to call plays?
I'm excited for Coach O'Hara. He's one of those guys that, he works his tail off. He develops quarterbacks. He works with quarterbacks. He works with the entire offense. And he's a great leader. He's called up protection meetings, making sure we're on the same page. And, he's got a good sense of humor. He has a great human element to him. And I'm excited for Coach O'Hara.
What's Billy Gonzalez like at practice?
He's fired up. He's awesome, man. Like he's, I think to some extent, your room's an extension of you. You're not all the time, but you know what I mean? Like your personality is going to show through your guys. So you talk about like, your Dallas Wilson of the world who's, he plays like his hair's on fire. He practices like his hair's on fire. And, Coach Gonzalez, he gets fired up. He loves up on his guys and he expects a lot out of them. So I think you can see that.
With Georgia coming up, how much does that just kind of, energize the team, taking this next step that's kind of uncertain?
Mm-hmm. No, I think there's always going to be uncertainty in football, and I think that's part of the game. But I think everybody's excited to go compete.
All right, appreciate it, Jay.
All right, thank y'all. Have a good one.
Appreciate y'all.
Through what this moment has been like for you as someone that really identified you, pursued you aggressively. You were one of his marquee guys that he brought in. What this moment has meant for you?
Yeah, no, it's been hard for sure. Coach Billy Napier, he recruited me here, and I'm forever thankful for him. My family's forever thankful for him. But at the end of the day, you still got to continue to get better. Me personally, got to continue to take each and every day as another day to improve at my craft, and I'm excited for the opportunity.
How emotional was Sunday for you and just the guys?
Yeah, it was very emotional. Like Jake said, we're not going to really get into all the details of what was said, but it's very emotional, and I'm forever thankful for Coach Napier.
How do you describe your relationship with Coach O'Hara and with him calling the plays now? How do you envision that working for the rest of the season?
Yeah, for sure, man. Coach O'Hara, he's been there from the beginning. He's taught me a lot, even when I was in high school, having meetings with him, during the recruiting process and him helping me with different things and stuff like that. So I have a great relationship with Coach O'Hara, and I'm excited for it.
Have you talked to him yet about calling plays?
Yeah, we talked, yes, sir. We have conversations, so it's going to be great. It's going to be fun.
What are your expectations on how he could impact the offense?
Yeah, he knows what I like. He knows what I don't like. He knows what I excel at. He knows what I need to work on. So it's going to be great. Like Coach Billy G said, having that player to coach communication is going to be huge, and I'm excited for it.
Billy G said he wants you guys to spread it out and throw to the receivers more. Does that excite you to hear that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yes, sir. Definitely. Anytime you can get the ball to your playmakers and let them do what they do in space and they get the yards for you, that's always a happy thing to see. So, yeah.
He's known as a very detail-oriented coach. What is your personal observations of Billy?
Billy G? Yeah. I'd say he gets after it, and I've grown close to him. Coaching with the receivers and things like that, and just being around him and his family. He has an incredible wife. They're great people, and I'm excited.
Coach Napier's message to you guys, just going forward, like, what do you say just about going forward? Maybe like you don't have to get into personal stuff, but maybe what was his message about finishing out the season?
Yeah, he basically just like finish. That's all he really kind of was getting to. So yeah.
As much as that, the question of Billy Napier's future hung over this team last year and this year, is there a sense of relief that at least there is something moving forward? You know what's happening?
Yeah, I just say, my whole thing is to keep the guys together. We got to go finish strong these 5 games. I'm gonna play my heart out. I'm gonna continue to get better each and every day, and my guys are gonna do the same thing. So that's our goal.
What can you say about your commitment beyond this season? Are you committed to the University of Florida for long term?
Yeah, I'm a Florida Gator, man. I'm focused right now. My biggest focus right now is these 5 games and continue to better my craft and continue to develop as a player.
What would you like to see in the next coach here?
Yeah, I can't. That's all. I can just control what I can control, and all I can control is, like I said, one day at a time. And continue to better my craft and to continue to be a better human.
How do you think you're coming along this season? I mean, September was rough, we know, but how do you feel like you've come along in October?
Yeah, it's been a long journey, and I'm thankful for it all, the good and the bad. God doesn't make any mistakes, and I'm just excited to see where my journey continues and how I can continue to get better.
I feel like that you're starting to kind of find your rhythm more. I mean, the other day you showed some real escapability, maybe we haven't seen. Look like you're
for
feeling
sure, man.
better.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm in a good mind space. Like I said, man, I just love playing football. And you can't really, these reps are priceless, man. Just going out there playing these games are priceless. So I'm excited just to go out there and compete with my guys and leave it all on the field.
Going back to Anger's point about you running around, you feel like you're the most mobile that you've been since the Kentucky game last year?
Say it again.
You mentioned you running around in the last game. Do you feel like right now you're the most mobile that you've been since the Kentucky game last year before you got hurt?
Yeah, for sure. I'm feeling great. Kudos to the training staff, Paul Silvestri, all those guys up there, they've been helping me throughout this. It's been a long journey, and I'm thankful for those guys that have been helping me, mentally and physically. So, yeah.
What does that do for you when you get your legs back? You can run.
Yeah, I'm still, trying to get it together, figure it out, But no, it's great, when you can have abilities to do things with your legs and in the air. So, yeah.
How critical is this open week going to be, considering all the changes, to kind of get ready for Georgia?
Yeah, it's huge. My biggest thing right now is beating the Georgia Bulldogs and just rallying the troops, man. I can't wait to get out there and go sling it to the guys, throw the ball with the guys, and just get out there and sweat with them again and just get out there and compete. And that's what it's all about, competing and having fun with your brothers.
Keeping the team together.
Say it again?
You mentioned keeping the team together being one of your focuses. Do you think that's a little bit easier right now, given the changes to the transfer portal recently?
Say it again?
Is it easier to keep the team together right now, knowing that the portal's not opening up right when a head coach is fired?
Yeah, I don't really know all the rules into all that. I don't know, but it's about me and my guys, and that's what it's been about, and that's what it's going to continue to be about. How can we continue to get better as a group, as players, and just developing our craft?
Coach Gonzalez talked about playing for the patch. What does that mean to you?
And that means everything to me. Playing for this logo, man, this logo means a lot to me, and I'm just thankful and part of be able to be a part of such a great, history of being a Florida Gator. So I'm excited.
Does last year's Georgia with you getting hurt, does that add to the motivation factor going forward for the bye week and prep next week?
Yes, sir, for sure. I've been waiting for this game for a long time, and I'm excited to get out there. Like I said, man, I'm a big competitive guy, man. I just love to get out there, compete, fight with my guys, and yeah.
Billy G's connection to starting under Urban. Let's talk about how much that means, given that he's, the success that he had and kind of that he's that link to the program's success.
Yeah, it's great when you can, always have great resources, and I'm excited for Coach Billy G. I'm excited, to learn from him and to continue to develop and continue to get better as a player.
All right, appreciate it, DJ.
Thank y'all. Go Gators.
Good job. Great minds think
All right, guys.
How y'all doing?
What's going on, Miles?
Linebacker Miles Grant, whenever you guys are. How emotional was this yesterday for you guys? I mean, I saw your tweet, and I know there was a lot of outpouring on social media, and I'm sure in that room too.
Yeah, I mean, it was very emotional. Coach Napier is a great man, great coach, and it was hard to see him go. But we have to keep moving forward. Like he said, he wants us to finish. And I'm focused on, like DJ said, rallying the guys for these last 5 games and making the most of what's left, man.
Your dad went through a coaching change when he was here, going from Coach Spurrier to Ron Zook. Did you reach out to him for advice on what that experience was like, how he handled things at the time?
Yeah, I did. I called him right after it happened, actually, and we talked and we debriefed. And it wasn't easy on him either, and a coaching change isn't easy on anybody. So he just told me to stay focused, stay disciplined, stay focused on what I can control. Don't be worried about what's coming and what's next. Just be present, be where my feet are, and that's really important to me. And that's the message I'm trying to get across to my guys too.
Just being a sophomore, how motivated do you feel to be one of the guys who's leading the charge of keeping this team together, making sure you guys don't fracture, splinter over the final 5 games?
No, it means the world to me, man. I'm living out my dream, honestly. Despite the circumstances, everything that's going on, I'm still living out my dream. This is what I prayed for, and I'm extremely excited to keep fighting with my guys. I get 5 more opportunities to play the game I love with my brothers, so that means a lot to me, man.
I know that you guys guys don't really want to share the details of the conversations publicly, but how have you seen the team respond to you, to DJ, to Jake, to anyone that's stepping up right now to keep them together?
I think they're responding very well. You know, losing your leader is not very easy. So it's opportunity for guys like us to step up and take control and take charge of the team, man. And what's to come is going to be special. I'm excited for it.
One of the guys that made a post about Billy, what made you want to, show your respect to him publicly like that?
Yeah, man. I just to give back, Coach Napier, half of what he given me would mean the world to me, man. Coach Napier, he's a great dude, and he taught me so much. I learned a lot of lessons from him throughout my time here, even when I was a recruit. And I wish him the best, and I'm really thankful for him.
What do you think this program needs in the next head coach to get it right?
I mean, that's the head coach. That's above my pay grade, man. Yeah, absolutely. No, I don't make that decision, but we just want a competitor. We want someone that can win, man. And whoever that is, I'm gonna play my heart out for him. I'm gonna give him everything I got. I'm gonna just control what I can control.
Sounds like you have no intentions of transferring.
Oh no, man. I'm a Gator, and I'm just focused on rallying these guys for these last 5 games and just keep rolling.
What did you learn from Billy?
I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from Coach Napier. Just his attention to detail, just his focus, his urgency, and everything he did. Just everything. Just being a man. Adversity, fighting back through adversity. I saw how he tuned out all the bad stuff throughout his whole career, all the negative stuff, and he just kept rolling. He just kept pushing, no matter what. And that was real. That was really just significant to me, man. Just to see how strong he was in times of trials and tribulations, man. He just kept rolling no matter what.
Why do you think it didn't work out?
I can't really put my finger on one thing. It was a combination of things. The players is partly on us too. We didn't execute as well as we needed to, and we take some responsibility for that. So.
In a transfer portal world, as you mentioned, how critical is it for the leadership group to get everyone to buy into the Florida logo, the brand, and keep everyone in-house?
Yeah, I think it's extremely important. I still feel like we have a championship caliber roster. I think we have great talent on this team. So that's one of my focus too, is keep the guys together no matter what. Just keep our head in it, keep on rolling, and keep as many guys on this roster as possible because it truly is special.
Coaching changes can galvanize or fracture a team. We've seen UAB, UCLA. I think, how confident are you that this could be a galvanizing big moment for you guys moving forward?
Yeah, what we learn from Coach Napier all the time is how you respond. How do you respond to things? It's not about what happens to you in your life, it's how you respond. So that's a big deal for us. That's huge. And just battling through adversity, and when it's not our first time, and it won't be our last as teammates, as people, and just in life. So responding to adversity is what we're going to do, and we're going to come out stronger.
Miles, what have you seen from Coach Gonzalez that you think translates to the whole team?
Yeah, I think he brings a lot of energy. I think he's fired up all the time. I think he's a great leader. And like Jake said, your room is a reflection of you. And that room plays tenacious. They play relentless. They get the job done. So I'm excited to play for Coach Gonzalez and give my all for him.
Just how difficult was it preparing for Mississippi State, given all the noise and the uncertainty as well?
Yeah, I don't think it was as hard as you might think. I think Coach Napier prepared us for this moment. I think he prepared us for blocking out all the noise and everything. So it was staying together. It was playing for the logo, like Coach Gonzalez said. It was honoring the name on your back. It was things like that. That's what was going into our head, and we were just blocking out the noise, and we kept going.
Surprised you that it came after a win, or did you have a feeling that, regardless of the result, that this was something that was going to occur?
No, I didn't. I honestly wasn't thinking about that, man. I was just focused on the gameplay. I was focused on getting a win, and we got that done. And, it happened at that moment, and we just, like we said, we got to finish. We just got to keep going no matter what, and we can't control what happens. That's not our decision to make. So we're just going to keep rolling and keep playing for the logo. And when I came here, I definitely came to play for Coach Nate, but I more importantly came to play for the logo. So.
There's obviously continuity on the defensive end, I guess, which is good in terms of going forward. But, just how critical is this bye week in terms of, for you guys to finish as strong as you want to?
Yeah, this bye week is important. Like you said, our defense is we're not playing our best football, but we're playing good football. So getting healthy this bye week is really important. Getting healthy, some guys are a little bit banged up, so that's a big aspect, and we got some things to clean up. So I'm excited to do that, get back to work with the guys and play some better football.
Billy G mentioned no staff changes for the rest of the season. How important is that just for continuity the rest of the season for the defense, especially with Ron continuing to call plays?
Yeah, I think that's really important. We still have the same guys upholding the standard, and we still have the same guys getting the message across to us. So having the same coaches is really important, that we know what to expect. You know, it's not going to be much different at practice in the meeting room. We know what to expect, and we know what we need to bring every single day to play good football. So that helps.
You grew up kind of I mean, your dad was in the professional business, but you're 19, right?
I am, yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, to see your coach let go mid-season, does it just kind of spotlight just how big business this kind of is that you guys are in?
Yeah, I mean, we signed up for it. You know, this is what we chose to do as players, as coaches. We signed up for it, man. And I've seen coaches leave. I've seen coaches come and go. It's a part of the game. It's a part of the business. And you just got to control what you can control and keep on rolling.
All right, appreciate it, Mike.
Yep, thank you.